Is everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a straggler coming in? We're all good? All right, thank you all for coming. First off, this was our first opportunity to give you an update. I'm sure you're aware of the tragic accident that occurred Monday night around 11 o'clock. It took us until late last night to identify the victims. It's one of the reasons you haven't heard from us prior to now. You have been provided or will be provided with a copy of the pictures of the 4 girls that are deceased, along with the girl that is injured. We are told that she has suffered serious injuries, but at this point, it looks like she's going to make it, which is good news. As far as the accident is concerned, that is an ongoing situation and investigation. We certainly owe it to the families to get to the bottom of what happened, and we're going to do that, not only for their sake, but also see if there's anything that we can do to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. I want to caution you a little bit, and hopefully you put this out there for me. The accident scene, as you know, occurred at 180th and Platteview Road. And if you've been by there, you know that there's a little barricade by the road, and that's where the kids and even some parents have chosen to erect a memorial. It is absolutely not safe in that particular area. There's no place to park, and heavy equipment is going by minute, delivering rock and dirt down here to Highway 34. And so with that in mind, we've put some barricades up to notify people to be safe and go slower. I would hope you would put out, encouraging kids not to go there. We're realists. We know they probably are going to anyway. And so in that respect, we actually have taken a barricade and put it off of 180th Street. So when you go down Platteview Road and you get to 180th, if you turn south and you go about 30 yards, there's a barricade that's going to be placed there. We're going to move all of their memorials to that area. And honestly, it's closer to the accident scene anyway. And so if someone goes there, we would encourage them to at least take 180th Street, park off of 180th Street. Someone is going to get hurt if they do not adhere to that or do it. Preliminarily, I can tell you that we believe speed was a factor. Past that, I can tell you that in every accident case, especially fatal accidents, we turn over every stone to try and figure out what may have happened, including if something wrong with the vehicle, looking at the roadway, driving conditions, making sure that we find out the whereabouts of these individuals prior to the accident. That is ongoing, but we do it in every case, in every accident. With that, I'm going to ask Dr. Kevin Ridey to say a few words.
Before I start, I do want to thank the media. You have respected our students, our community, our parents, our church. What we've asked you to do, you've complied. I can't thank you enough. I thank the Sheriff's Office and the first responders. Monday night was a tough night. Our local pastors who've been there every step of the way with us, and it's all of them coming together to work with our children and our parents. Our educational colleagues and friends in the metro area, statewide, and even nationally, for all their emails and letters and texts of support. Our crisis response team and our counselors have virtually met with hundreds of children the last few days. Our collective heart in our community is shattered. We ache for the families. On behalf of the Gretna Public Schools, I want to extend our deepest sympathies to those 4 families. These are good girls. They're smart girls. They're the closest of friends. They come from good families and families that monitor their behavior closely. But if you've ever had a 15 or 16-year-old daughter, you know you can't lock them in their room. You know you can't protect them from everything. And sometimes when kids get together, accidents happen, mistakes are made. We're in a nightmare that we can't wake up from. It will take us a while to ever smile or laugh again, but we will. We're at the beginning of a horrible experience. The road will twist and turn, but by the grace of God and the love and support of friends and family, we will heal. I always tell my administrative team, if you're always trying to do the right thing, you will land on your feet. The community of Gretna will land on its feet.
Thank you, Dr. Riley. Now I'd like to introduce Chief Deputy County Attorney Bonnie Moore.
Thank you, Sheriff and Dr. Riley, all those kind words. I would just like to reiterate that the Sarpy County Attorney's Office expresses its deepest sympathies to the families and everyone impacted. I read the other day that there was a heaviness over the city of Gretna and over Sarpy County, and I think that perfectly describes what's happening here. I want to say that our support goes out to the first responders as well who are at the scene and experience that, and that we're working closely with the Sheriff's Office in terms of the investigation regarding the incident. So with that, I'll turn it over to the Sheriff. Thank you.
I would also like to add on behalf of the entire Sarpy County Sheriff's Department, and I know our commissioners, we extend our deepest sympathy, and we want the families to know our thoughts and prayers are with them. No one has suffered more than the family, friends, and loved ones. We have people that are hurting also. We had somewhere upwards of 25 to 30 people out there for hours and hours. That includes first responders from local fire departments, rescue personnel, simple things like the tow truck operators that were out there. And we're addressing that with our people on a regular basis. And certainly we hope to have more information in the near future. When we do, we'll get that out to you as soon as we possibly can. I'll try and answer some questions, or we can answer questions if you have any. Again, I'm pretty firm on not talking too much about the accident investigation itself. That is ongoing, and hopefully in the near future we'll be able to meet and talk about that. With that, any questions?
You know who was driving, Sheriff?
Yeah, I don't have my sheet in front of me. I think I dropped it. I think the owner of the vehicle and the driver was Abigail Barth. And that information will be provided for you via email shortly. Anybody else?
Anything about where the girls were coming from or where they were going?
We do not.
You don't know.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, you're saying you can't release that, or you don't know?
We don't know at this point. Obviously, that's one of the things we'll try and find out, but we do not know where they were going.
Do you know what condition the fifth victim at the hospital is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know the condition of the fifth victim at the hospital?
I'm told that she has serious injuries, but she's going to make it, is what I'm told. Anybody else?
Kevin, could you tell us anything about the girls themselves? Did you know them at all very well, or?
You, as a superintendent, you don't get to, oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
As superintendent, you don't get to know them in the manner that I did when I was the high school principal. One of these deceased is a daughter of one of my students that graduated in the 90s when I was principal. One of them is a daughter of a staff member. So I saw all of these girls at graduation parties in May. And they're athletes, they're National Honor Society kids. soccer, volleyball, you name it. And they were inseparable as 5 girls.
Actually, one of the pictures that's been provided just happens to be a picture of all 5 of these girls together. And I know you'll get that copy of that too. I do want to add this, that the Gretna community, the Gretna schools, Sarpy County Attorney's Office, law enforcement, within hours of this accident happening, we were in contact with each other on the phone. And I seriously can't tell you enough how hard my people have worked and are continuing to work to get to the bottom of actually what took place.
Sheriff, preliminary, do you know how the one girl was able to survive and the others didn't? Was there anything obvious about this thing?
Now, I can tell you that she was one of the victims that was thrown from the vehicle, presumably.
Were there more victims that were thrown?
Pardon?
Were there more victims that were thrown from the vehicle?
At least one more.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Do you know who initially called in the report of what sounded like a fire at first, and how long may have passed between the crash and between the report or call from 911?
From what I've looked at, I think you're talking about a 10-minute time period when the first call came of possibly it came out as a brush fire, and I think even the responding fire units sent their fire apparatus out first because they thought they were going to a brush fire, and until law enforcement arrived, they didn't know anything else other than that. And they were updated, obviously, and it went from there. So
Do you know if it was a neighbor or a driver who was passing?
I believe it was a passerby that reported it. Anybody else? Thank you very much for coming. We have more information. We'll get that out to you.